We are live. We're here.
Awesome.
We're on time, I think.
I think we are.
Oh, we are 1 minute late, maybe.
That's really good for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Welcome to the Stream of Truth. Today we are talking about such an exciting topic, advanced manifestation techniques. What could be better to talk about than that?
Yeah, it's fun.
I am Dr. Tassel Faith Shamebrook.
I'm Sean Kelly.
And so what we'll do today is we're going to go over basically 10 techniques or 10 principles in an advanced manifestation process. And then we're going to share some personal stories of our own experience with these type of techniques and how we sort of gleaned these techniques. And then at the very end, we have a really, really powerful guided meditation to really just help you get into this energy of advanced manifestation. And it's about 20 minutes long.
Yep.
But I think it's well worth your while. So please, if you can.
What's it called?
It's actually called Miraculous Manifesting.
Miraculous Manifesting.
I have found it to really be able to create miracles.
Yeah. If it resonates, I'd recommend staying. All of Tassel's meditations are amazing, and this will be on the meditation album that we should be releasing any day.
Yes.
I know we said that a couple times.
It's ready to go.
But we had to make a couple edits, and we just have a little last listen to do, and then I think we're ready to go. So
yeah,
I wanted to just share a little bit about why we thought we should target towards starseeds or wanderers or people that resonate like that.
Mm-hmm.
In this manifestation practice. I think primarily the main thing that I think those people will begin to notice is just how much their emotions and vibration and frequency affects everything that comes in. It'll be much more obvious to them because they have, after they begin to awaken, they become so much more present usually over time, and then just be able to notice these things. They have more space in their awareness to notice these things, which allows them to tune their manifestations.
Yes, I love what you're saying. And I can even see that in my own evolution where I was living so much in my thinking mind in the past before my awakening, and still after my awakening, it was toggling back and forth. But the more I was in my thinking mind, I wasn't even really aware of the energy and the feeling thoughts that I was vibrating out.
Yeah. That exactly. So that's sort of the theory. And so you don't have to be identifying with any of those types. You don't have to identify with anything to get use of this. Really, you just need to sort of be awake and aware. And if you're watching the video, you're probably at the right stage for that anyways.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, and I just totally agree, is just being the observer
Mm-hmm.
of what is going on for you and really observing what energy, what purity of thought, your beautiful phrase, that we're sending out.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Was there anything else we wanted to say before we got into the steps? I think that was it.
I think that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we'll do, I think, what we usually do. We'll kind of go back and forth maybe, or...
Sounds awesome.
Do you want to start with number one?
Sure. So the first step that we're...
Oh, wait, before you go, can I just preface this by saying, this is our experience.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that teach manifestation or law of attraction stuff. We've been, both of us were pretty obsessed with that functionality of the universe when we found out about it, I think.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of learning. Some of it resonated, some of it didn't, and then we ended up putting stuff into practice that did resonate, and this is sort of where this has come from, as well as, I'd say, our guidance and that type of thing as well. So if it doesn't resonate or you have different ideas around how some of this works, it's totally okay.
Yeah, and please share in the chat or in the comments anything that you find really helpful. It's a constantly evolving process.
Yeah.
To figure out how everything works.
And hello, Jackie. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Awesome. Okay, so the first step we have here for advanced manifestation is to really tune into what you want, to be really conscious of what the intention that you are holding. And you talked a bit about discerning between what do other people want maybe me to do versus what I actually really want. And this will be in the guided meditation at the end, but a practice that I really love to do is just to envision myself dropping down into my heart space, and just sort of hanging out there and just really tuning in to what is my true, authentic, heartfelt desire for my life. So just getting super clear on that to begin with.
Yeah. And I'd like to say that sort of when you get there, when you're doing that, I think it's really important to really try and be honest. And when I was talking with Tassel earlier, I was saying, sometimes we really think, and that's the key word, we think we want certain things in certain ways. And a lot of times those thoughts come from our programming, from our societal pressures or our familial pressures, whatever it is, and our soul doesn't truly resonate with it. And in those cases, it doesn't mean you can't achieve it. It just means that you're going to have an inner resistance to it, and the sort of, I would say, like the probabilities of it coming around in a way that's harmonious and good is going to be not so great. So if it does manifest, it will probably be peppered with resistance the whole time. And so you might think, just as a quick example of this, I knew that I needed to work for my children and my family. I was coming out of college. I knew I needed to get a job. I was able to very easily manifest a new job in IT. I worked in IT for like 11 or 12 years, the entire time resisting it. It worked out perfectly for the family. Mm-hmm. I was able to do what I thought was best for me to do. Mm-hmm. However, I did not like it. I liked aspects, but it was mixed, and that's because the manifestation itself was mixed. And so when we can identify where we're like pleasing others in ways that we don't really want to do but feel obligated, that's really important, because you can still manifest that outcome. It's going to be peppered with flavors that you don't really enjoy, most likely.
I love that you talked about that example.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, it's always amazing that between my thinking mind, my egoic mind, and my heart, I may want different things. Mm-hmm. And just really taking the time to tune into what really my soul wants, what really I'm being guided in this incarnation to do. Yeah. And letting, as you said, letting go of the stories, the expectations that we feel from the programming, from other people. Mm-hmm. So such a foundational step.
Yeah, I think a lot of times what you'll find when you begin to look at your desires and what formed them and stuff like that, you'll start to realize that a lot of our desires are not really our desires. They're more like surface level kind of obligations that we think or concepts or things that we think will improve our lives in a rational way. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that, but noticing that versus noticing what the heart's calling for is a big different thing.
And so much of that revolves around practicalities. Mm-hmm. It's practical for me to get this type of job, or it's practical for me to do this, and that's all the thinking mind. Yeah. And that is part of what we're saying we can release.
Right, and it's great to be practical and do the things that are required of you and stuff like that.
But we're going to get to this step, but to take it from inspired action. Right. So the practicalities that, of course, we do need to take care of. We want to take that from an inspired action orientation rather than I really need to do this, and almost forcing yourself.
Yeah, and I want to get a little esoteric for a moment.
All right.
The only thing that matters for soul polarization in your ascension is intention. So if you're going through the motions to serve someone but don't want to, like you don't want to serve them, you're not really trying to serve them, you're not offering yourself freely, there's resistance and stuff.
Yeah.
We make ourselves feel bad about that. We make ourselves go through the motions, do it anyway. Those acts are not polarizing service generally, because we are not giving ourselves in full. And so there's two ways to look at that. Like, is this thing that I'm trying to manifest that I'm doing for others, is it something I truly want? And if it is, how do I make sure that I'm not like feeling pushed into it? Because, or how do I make sure that I'm feeling really aligned and inspired with it? If that's not the case, then you're going to end up having a situation where you're serving people without polarity gain, which is essentially a waste of energy.
Yes. Yeah, that's such a great
and
point.
it goes both ways. And this is why, just as a quick example, I could say, I think our entire audience is stupid, right? I could say that. My intention does not equal those words, and therefore that sentence doesn't land. I think our audience knows I don't think they're stupid, right? And I hope you do, but if you don't, I don't think you're stupid. But the point is that's why we can do sarcasm, things like that, because it's the intention.
Yes, it's the energy.
The energy and the intention that is all that matters.
Yep.
And I think it's just an important sort of distinction.
Yep.
Living in the present moment. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Thanks for tuning in on OSHC. I don't know how to pronounce that. OSHC. That's cool.
Awesome. Okay, do you want to do step number 2?
Yeah, so once you know what you want and how like where your sort of goal is, and it doesn't have to be a very cemented goal. You know, I like to make it as simple as possible. Almost no true knowing or expectation of the details. So instead of, like, if I want money, for example, I'm not focusing on like part of a particular product to be successful. I just envision myself flush with money.
Yes.
Right? So take some of the steps out. The logical mind will like go, okay, well, to get to A or to get to point B, I have to go through, or Z or whatever, I have to go through these steps. So therefore, I'm going to manifest these successful steps. But all that sort of does is limit the universe and how it can provide to you your manifestation. If you really just look at them like feeling flush with cash and like maybe seeing yourself rolling around in a bed of cash or things like that. And that could be uncomfortable for you too. If you're feeling like that, you could feel gross about that. There's lots of nastiness in our culture around money.
Yeah.
So if you do feel that, you need to deal with that too.
Yeah.
Because if you feel like getting money is bad, you're going to be resisting your own manifestation. So the intentions, set intentions after you know what you want, but very as loose as you can, loosey-goosey. That's the looser the better.
Yes. Yeah. Almost like setting an intention around your feeling state is almost what we're really talking about.
Right. Yeah.
How do I? Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot, that we, the only reason we ever try to manifest anything is because we think it's going to help us feel a certain way.
Right.
So we can just go right to the feeling. And as you said, just let the universe handle the details.
And that's how we can tell if we actually want the thing.
Yeah, right.
We can imagine ourselves in the moment doing that.
Yes.
So like if, let's say I wanted to, like, I was thinking about writing a book.
Yeah.
And then I imagine myself writing a book and I'm like, that is boring.
Yeah. I feel bored.
I feel bored. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah. So then you know that isn't
But
really
your mom and dad are saying, oh, you know, you've got really good ideas. You should write a book. And you're like, okay, mommy and daddy, I guess I should write a book.
Yes.
But you don't want to. So that's how you find
It's a litmus test.
It is. You just how do you feel about, pretend you're there, because you are wherever you are, and it's always already there. Like you are wherever you are.
You are wherever your feeling energetic state is.
Right.
Yeah.
The soul doesn't know the difference between the imagined.
Yes.
And you'll see that reflected in the mind. So if you close your eyes and imagine a thing, the same areas will fire as if you were experiencing it in science.
Yep. So, absolutely. That's why the visualization is so powerful.
Right. Yeah. The soul and has no idea the difference. So you can
play with that.
Yeah, and
use that to your benefit.
Use that to figure out what you actually want.
Yeah. Okay, so then step number 3, I love this step so much. So this is where you visualize your outcome. We go just right to the outcome. Visualize your outcome. Feel the feelings of this outcome already manifested. And it's really fun to use all of your senses. Yep. This is something I learned from
that's a good idea.
Neville
Goddard?
Neville Goddard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote in the 1900s. He's amazing. Everyone should check out anything he's read. It's all excellent.
Yeah, and this also really lines up with what I studied in hypnotherapy about the subconscious. Really,
right.
You program the subconscious by helping have the most realistic visualization experience that you can. So
realistic doesn't mean hindered by your concepts of what is possible, though.
Right.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Realistic as in as sensory and as real as you can make it.
Yes.
Right.
And along with, so visualizing, feeling the feelings of it already having manifested, also tuning into gratitude that it has already happened, just feeling thankful that it has already happened.
Yeah.
And I'll give a quick example of how powerful I have found this practice to be for my own manifestations. Several years ago, when I was going through a very, very acrimonious divorce custody situation, and this is actually what prompted me to really try to learn about manifestation techniques because it was really helpful for my family. I would envision, feel the feelings, and feel gratitude for my custody agreement to have resolved and be really peaceful and highest and best for my ex-husband and myself and my children. And I didn't know exactly, I didn't specify the details of what the custody agreement would look like, but I went right to the outcome of that, of feeling so happy and relieved and peaceful and in harmony with my ex-husband. And we had a little bit of a tricky custody agreement, and I had some concern about the judge signing off on it. So what I did for that part was I envisioned the judge speaking to us and saying, this is a really inventive, really wonderful custody agreement that you came up with. Mm-hmm. And it's very magical. I get goosebumps talking about it. That is exactly what happened. The judge said almost the exact words of what I had envisioned and just been in that state of experiencing. And I have found this over and over again. I'll tell some more stories around all this, but yeah. I get goosebumps because
that's awesome.
It's really, we really are creating our reality all the time.
Absolutely. I'd like to piggyback on what you were saying, another esoteric kind of weirdness.
Yeah.
You can imagine our collective consciousness as like a balloon of energy, right? Some of the energy is targeted towards individuals. So tassel basically manifesting with a purity and tremendous amount of emotion.
Yes.
Empowers a thought form in the collective consciousness that the judge will feel drawn to. It'll enter his awareness as an idea. If the judge himself isn't resistant to it, so it's still the being's free will, but just manifesting that thought, the judge then will be offered that thought most likely if the manifestation is done well, there's enough power to it, that thought gets dropped in for him to observe and then act on that as he deems fit. And that's why you have situations like that. It's also why if you look in history, you can see inventions that all happened at the same time, like across the world, like in Russia and then in Mexico, the same invention happens on the same day or something with people that don't know each other.
Yeah.
That's how that happens, is these inspired ideas. It could have been a dude in Nebraska that had the idea, and then the Mexican and the Russian made it.
Yeah.
So that's how that sort of works, if you weren't familiar with that. And that's why we literally can dictate to people what we want them to say and how we want them to act with us. and it does have an influence providing they're not resisting it.
And as you mentioned, with an orientation of highest and best for all. And that's always, I often just pop that into my intentions and my prayers for manifestations, that, provided this serves the highest and best for all. And then I do believe that is also where the divine assistance comes in, if it is highest and best for all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's basically the best way to look at it. If it aligns with the overall plan,
yes,
then it will likely come into fruition.
Yeah.
There is like free will involved and stuff like that. So I just wanted to sort of lay out some of the mechanics on how that functions, because for me, when I was like, well, I can't make people do things, right? And you're not. You're just offering suggestions. It's almost as if you spoke a suggestion to them, and then they do what they want with it. So,
and I think it's just very magical and powerful to realize any situation you are in. So I was in this very difficult custody situation, and it wasn't always easy to communicate with my ex-husband.
Right.
But what I could do is do these manifestation techniques and pray and intend for highest and best, and I didn't really need to communicate directly with him.
Exactly. And Ho'oponopono,
yes,
that's the easy. If you don't know how to do it or what one
yes.
to do, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, while you're holding the person in your mind, that dissolves the karmic barriers.
Yes,
if
the stuck energy.
If it's a purity of forgiveness, then the barriers start to dissolve, and that person will very, very likely start to shift their orientation with you.
Yep.
Because that energy will start to resolve on their side also.
Yep. So many stories.
What's the next
that.
one? Is that, or did you have more to say on that?
I think the only other point within this that we wanted to communicate is in this visualization and feeling the feelings and having gratitude, really leaning in to the understanding that it has already happened. It has already manifested. And whether you get there from an understanding that time isn't real, or, for instance, Abraham Hicks talks about things being in your vortex, or any way that you can really have faith in the understanding that your manifestation has already happened.
Yeah, all the things you truly desire are already there, waiting for you to receive them. It's just a matter of when are you going to let go of the resistance you have to those things you desire.
Yeah.
And then they will just float on in as if magical.
Yeah.
As if magic.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Totally.
I don't know what that is. Brahman Consciousness? Do you know what that is?
I don't either.
I don't know that term. I haven't studied things.
Yeah, but if you want to perhaps give a brief description.
If you'd like to let us know what that is, I'd love to hear it.
I'd love to hear it. Sounds really cool.
Most likely I have a concept of it, but don't know the word Brahman. I've heard the word, I just don't know what that means offhand.
Yeah.
I didn't study any traditional spirituality at all.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I read the Bible once, and I listened to,
I like the idea that we have just been remembering.
I just remember how the things work.
We just remember.
So we don't do a lot of studying and then teaching that's why we don't reference materials. We generally, if we do, then great. But a lot of what we're talking about is experiential / intuitive.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Do you want to hit number 4?
Yes. Speak directly with spirit. This one's more your thing.
Okay.
I do this too, but I'm not sure what you meant when you wrote this.
Okay, so maybe
I'd rather you do this.
Yeah. Okay, so step number 4 that we have is to speak directly with spirit about your heartfelt desire. And I grew up with the idea of God being very distant and sort of cold in a way, and maybe even punitive, and that's sort of what I grew up with, that idea. And so for me, it's been this really beautiful remembering that, well, of course, we are all gods. I'm just really even just talking to myself when I talk to spirit, but that spirit myself wants everything that I want. Spirit's dreams are my dreams, and my dreams are spirit's dreams. They're one and the same.
Yeah.
And that was a huge realization for me.
Your will is God's will.
Yes, God's will is your will. It's interchangeable.
Positive or negative.
Yes.
As well.
What you are feeling is spirit feeling it through you. And this was a big shift for me because I think the way I grew up, I felt people around me were against my dreams, were trying to get me to do what they wanted to do. So it was a big jump to even realize I have full support for my dreams and my intentions and my manifestations. They are God's dreams, manifestations. So I just love sitting down at times and just speaking to spirit and just talking through, like, this is what I really want. Can we do it? Can you help me? And feeling the emotion of that. Really, I like to do this when I am feeling very emotional about what I want. It, to me, feels that is how I send out the energy with rocket fuel.
Right.
And there are so many stories I have of doing this with spirit and very quickly afterwards seeing a shift in my external.
I think so. For me, I do a similar thing. I did it a lot more the way you did it prior, but as I really cemented into my I am creator presence, I no longer felt to ask for assistance.
Yeah, because you are the creator.
I'm the assistant.
Yes.
So
you don't. The way I'm thinking of it is a little bit like a middleman.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's not
it's a great point.
There's no issue. You have to be able to sit in I am God. States. To be able to do what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So it's totally okay to the same.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
Such a great point.
Yeah. I'm getting shivers.
I love that. I want to sit in my I am presence more.
Yeah.
I love that.
We recommend that a lot. Aaron Abke has that I am. It's like an I am little course, I think, or an I am.
Yes.
It's a free on YouTube. I highly recommend it. He's got a whole bunch of little tips and practices and stuff. It's really
interesting because as I was explaining what it was, I was saying, well, but I am spirit.
Yeah.
Right. God, my dream is God. It's one and the same.
Any of our language
collapsing.
Yeah. Any of our language that we notice we're separating from our spirit. Those are opportunities for us to go, oh, actually unify.
Yeah.
And then as we do that, we start to unify with other things too.
And I think one of the points you just made about advanced manifestation is really sitting in the I am creator presence. It's just this further step, further evolution.
Absolutely. I think that's the best. It's very empowering too. Once you get past, there's a resistance there because we've been told that we're separate from God our whole lives. God's a judgy old dad or something.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Yep.
And that's just plain nonsense, more or less.
Yep.
I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's my view. I think that's really, really powerful, and it feels so good to just sit there and know that I am the one.
Yes.
However, we have to remember that the human's a little confused. So you can sit in that presence, but even though you know you're God and you have a will and a thing that you expect to happen, it may not happen the way you think it will because your manifestations and what you believe you're willing is a little distorted and confused. So that's why I always talk about purity of thought.
Yes.
Because that's what helps you get to a place where you're, the way I like to think of it is your chakras, as they're balanced, the creator plucks the strings to make a harmony, right? And so if one chakra is out of tune, the creator can't play the melody it wants.
Yeah.
It plays a distorted melody, which can be quite beautiful, but it's distorted.
Yeah.
So it's important that's why I talk about purity of thought and clearing out distortions and healing.
Yeah. Excellent. Step number.
Are we on 5?
5, yes.
So this one's tough sometimes, but tune into any fears, limiting beliefs, stories. Basically, feel your feelings. Basically, there's often parts of us that think like we want something, we truly do want it, and imagining doing it sounds great, but there's a part of us that goes, oh my gosh, like let's say, for example, if our business was to explode and suddenly we had millions of viewers, and we were people calling, trying to get a hold of us all the time, or trying to get us onto other shows or things, like that would get a little hectic, right? So for me, one of my fears is that I'll have difficulty maintaining my presence because I'll be accosted by all the people who want my attention.
Work stuff, yes.
Right? And, that happens on all levels, so you don't have to be famous for that, but I have this idea that the famous, and I know it's from my childhood, one of my friends became famous, my good friend, well, not famous, but, C-level probably, celebrity or something, but famous enough that he basically complained to me many times about, like, just people just won't leave him alone, like, just constantly trying to get him to do this or do that or promote this or and he couldn't tell who was his friend and who was not, and who's using him and who's right, so he started isolating, and like and he went through a whole thing with it. And so I had that story that he shared with me, and I was like, that sounds hard.
I don't want that.
So I had a fear about becoming famous, or getting too big for my britches type thing, and then getting all overwhelmed with that, and then having it all fail because I can't keep it up. So noticing those areas that you're resisting or that you're fearful about, trying to be like, is there any part of it that when I'm thinking about it, it doesn't feel right? So it could be a responsibility. Like if you open a business and you've quit your job and you're going to open a business of some kind, that's a lot of responsibility and pressure, and that can be, you can be scared just of that. Right? So, or you could be scared of not doing well, and then having all the people that you said you were going to do this amazing thing and then failing in front of them. So there's a whole bunch of different fears there, and those have to really be dissolved, otherwise you're resisting your own will. And the presence of if you didn't have them, then it already would have been manifested. So we know that there's something there if our true desire hasn't yet been manifested. So they're talking about Brahman consciousness. They're saying that Brahman consciousness is that integration, more or less, the spirit that I went
okay.
through.
Cool.
Okay, so I basically, so I did this. I guess I integrated Brahman consciousness, maybe, is maybe the way to say it. I'm not sure. But what you're doing is reminding yourself that you are creator all the time, and then purifying your chakras and your distortions to the point where you can more fully embody the higher self or the higher mind. And what this will do is create a perspective, an ability to switch perspectives. You can sort of jump into that Brahman consciousness stream, or that higher stream, higher frequency of consciousness, which sees things with a very unified view without polarity. And that's the way to know if you're there is you don't have judgment of things. The thing is as it is. There's no judgment of it. You can see the wisdom of it clearly as an opportunity for learning or an opportunity for growth, regardless of whether you see it's negative or positive. That's how you can tell you're sitting in that consciousness. And you want to, but you still have a preference about it, or you like, that's how you can tell. So like, I may really want to go on a horse ride, right? And I don't get to, but I'm okay with it. But I still did really want to go, right? But there has to be really no judgment of that not happening, or thinking about things like, I don't know, vegan versus carnivore mentalities for diet. So if you're like really mad at other humans for eating animals, for example, that you're not sitting in Brahman consciousness. You can still have your belief and still hold that for yourself.
The preference.
Preference, and it can be a very strong preference. But the trick is to not judge the self or others in regards to any of it, and to reduce the polarity so that these things aren't charged. And that is, to get into that state is how your manifestation, thank you for bringing it up, because in that state, your manifestations are pure. So if you can reach that state, your manifestations are pure. I've told you before, I am aware that I can bring in anything I want. And so I almost don't do anything because I worry about my purity in things.
Yeah.
And you'll get to that point where you'll realize your power.
Yeah.
You'll have an opportunity to go the negative route, and you make a choice. Am I going to go service to self or service to others?
Yeah.
And I think I was a little distorted and impure still when I reached that state. And I was worried I would go down this service to self path. And so I did a lot of non-intention. Just allow non-intention. And so that's sort of where I was at. Wasn't doing a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Wasn't really manifesting or setting intentions or anything, just letting things occur.
Yeah.
While I could learn how to hold that. So I hope that helps a little bit. Everyone's different, and the best thing that I would do is just try to see the creator in everything, including concepts, thoughts, other people, rocks, all of it. Just as you look, just remind yourself that's I'm looking at the creator. Look in the mirror and say that I'm looking at the creator. Just keep reminding yourself constantly, and it starts to become a state.
Yeah, beautiful. And just within this step of tuning into any fears and limiting beliefs and stories that may be preventing your manifestation, I really love the affirmation, show me the way. So just, we're talking about that we are spirit, but just myself, show me the way, spirit, show me the way through to the outcome that I desire. And that's when we're going to come up against all these fears and limiting beliefs and stories that we're holding that right now are a bit of an obstacle.
Right.
And I just want to share one of my limiting belief stories. So I have a dream intention that you and I can spend more time together.
Maybe live in the same state or same somewhere.
Yeah, be in the same city.
Right.
Because right now I live in Nashville and Sean lives in outside of Toronto. And I think I told you this. I realized as I was doing basically this practice that I don't know if I'm dissolving it completely or not, but I'm trying to dissolve it. I have a limiting story that I can't live with you all the time because then you'd see the real me.
Oh.
And maybe I wouldn't be enough.
So what you're saying is that you're not who I think you are. I'm kidding.
So just a limiting story that when you come, say for 2 weeks, I could keep up my persona that I want you to see or something.
Your preferred persona or preferred way of being.
Yeah, whether it's how I look or how I behave, or I just realized that I did have a limiting belief there that if you were with me all the time, maybe I wouldn't be good enough or something. Yeah,
I had the exact same fear that I had to dissolve to come see you.
Just for the first time even?
Right. And I have a feeling that, remember when we were first talking about me coming?
Yes.
I was like, yeah, well, I don't know if I'll get the pass. I gotta get a pass. I don't know. Sort of was.
There were so many, not excuses, but so many
There
things.
were like resistances, and I was using those physical or practical things.
Yeah, because there was an underlying.
I was not ready. I didn't feel totally ready to come, because exact same thing, I'll get there and she's not gonna like me.
Yeah.
She thinks she likes me now because she doesn't see me all the time, but once I get there she's not gonna like me.
Right.
I had that fear, so I had to dissolve that before I would even act and come.
Yeah, so it's so cool to realize that we have these dreams and intentions, manifestations that we really want, but if they haven't manifested yet, most likely there are some limiting stories, beliefs that we need to pass through.
Right.
So it's just this step is really a self-discovery step, a self-awareness step. What am I holding within me that is blocking this from coming into my reality?
And it's also important to notice that the things that we most conscious or most with most emotion and power desire are often areas that will inform lessons of equaling strength. So basically, the reason you really, really, really want X and can't get it is a lesson. There's a lesson there. Once you learn that lesson,
it will flow in.
Flows in.
Yeah.
Because the lesson will release the resistance, and then the soul's ready.
And it's almost like the dream is the carrot to help you move through the lesson and the expansion.
Yeah.
It's almost orchestrated so that you will just go through that path that your soul wants you to, but maybe without that goal, that dream, you wouldn't go through some of the uncomfortable aspects of that expansion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Number 6.
Your wanting and knowing and desire. It's your birthright to bring your dreams into reality. So this is talking about what we were saying earlier. Your will is God's will.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. There is no human here, but we're more a projection of the mind, of the all mind, that's formed into a body that thinks it's an identity. And so anything that the body, mind, human thinks they want and desire has been dropped in from God, more or less, right? From you, your higher self. And it is your birthright to learn how to bring about your true desires. That's one of the reasons we're actually here, is to learn how to purify, how to manifest our desires with a purity of intention, whether it's negative path or positive path. That is part of what we're trying to learn how to do here. A little bit, some of us, not all of us. Some of us are just trying to choose love or fear. And then graduate into fourth, where fourth is where we'll really start to experience understanding of manifestation to a proper degree. But in third density, there's a lot of illusion, a lot of confusion still. So you can start to learn the lessons of fourth density in third, but some people are still just learning third density stuff, and that's perfect too. But it is your birthright. Like, that's why you're here, is to learn how to do this. And that's how I like to think of it, is I feel so called to try and manifest this thing, and I'm frustrated about it and whatever, but I know that it's gonna lead to expansion and whatever. And a lot of times, once you dissolve the resistance and the things and learn the lesson, the desire sometimes will just fade away, because you realize the desire itself was an illusion. So I just caution that may happen as well. And then the mind can panic, because the mind's like, oh my God, I had a plan and now I don't care about that plan. Oh my God, what am I going to do with myself?
Yeah.
Right? And that could be the lesson, right? For me, that was the lesson.
Okay.
Was I don't need a plan.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I don't need a plan. Yes.
That was my thing, but
yeah,
it's different for everybody. But I just wanted to sort of highlight that you're here to bring about your desires, your will. It's your birthright. It's a divine birthright. We're all magicians manifesting our desires.
Exactly. And this is one of my favorite awakening understandings, because I felt growing up, and maybe other people did too, that I had to put aside my dreams, that I had to be practical, that I had to do what other people wanted. That's what my experience was. And that my dreams were kind of just not practical and sort of a luxury that just could never happen. And I really just needed to be more commonsensical and just get rid of them. And so much of my guidance around this has been that beautiful phrase that you said, is that it is our birthright. I just love that. It is our birthright to bring through our dreams. That's why they feel so compelling in our beings. That's why we think about them a lot, and we get goosebumps and chills as we imagine the outcome, because we came here to experience them, to experience the process of bringing them through, and the learning of that and the expansion of that, and then just the joy of being able to experience our heartfelt dreams. The whole excitement of that path.
Yeah.
I'm getting massive chills as I'm saying this. So I just love that.
It's vibing.
Yeah. I just love it. It is your birthright to bring your dreams into your reality.
And number 7? I think
Yeah.
we're on 7?
Yeah. Okay, so number 7, we have about releasing all expectations. So it's interesting. It almost sounds like two, in a way, competing orientations. We're talking about it is your birthright to bring your dreams into reality. And at the same time, once we have tuned into this dream and sent it out, to just relax and just be able to be in the present, be grateful for what we have now, and release all, in a way, pullings or graspings at that manifestation that our heart does desire. Just to relax into the now, to relax into the divine plan, your divine plan, to relax into the timing. Almost like you've put a cake in the oven and at some point it'll be done.
Right, and try that exactly. You don't know what the temperature's at. It might take a month to cook this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could just relax in the meantime.
Yeah,
it's gonna be done.
It's in the oven.
The cake is gonna be baked.
It's gonna get cooked somehow.
It's gonna be done, and you can just release it.
God's got a chef in the kitchen.
God's working
They know what they're
the
doing.
oven. Yeah.
They're gonna probably put ingredients in that you didn't even know you wanted. Oh my God, I got distracted. There was something I wanted to say. Shoot, it was good. I had a good thing coming.
About releasing expectations, timing.
Yeah. Timing. So
letting go of the house.
Letting go of the house. So when you let go of the house, you allow the universe to follow the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
That's how magic works.
Yep.
So magic and energy will always flow through the path of least resistance. You'll see it all over the world, in all of nature, as well as in electricity. It goes the path of least resistance all the time. So that is a macrocosmic thing that we see here in the more microcosm. And what that means is, if you are blocking paths that you don't know exist, the universe is going, I don't know how to do what you want. You're making this too hard.
Yeah, you're narrowing the possibilities.
I could go this way,
Yeah.
but you won't let me.
Right.
And that's what it. That's
if you
what
have
it's like.
such a specific intention.
Yeah, especially if it's like steps. That's
Yeah.
why we talk about the outcome.
Yeah, go right to the outcome.
You also, it helps a lot to release charge around, if it doesn't happen, will I be okay?
Yeah.
And ask yourself that, will I be okay if this doesn't happen?
Yeah.
And get yourself okay.
Yeah.
Get to that place, because if you can't be okay with that it won't happen, then all you're doing is sort of setting yourself up for suffering, and which will start more doubt. As it doesn't happen day by day, the doubt will begin to form again, because you're upset about it. So then your rational mind goes, I thought it was going to happen, but the doubt starts to come again. So if you can get to a place where you can be okay either way, you have a preference, but you're okay either way, and the preference is all you need. That's all you need to charge your desire enough.
Yeah, it's almost, I'm seeing an image of a wall. If there's so much grasping and almost needing of the manifestation to occur, I'm just seeing that there's just like a wall up.
Right.
It's an energetic blockage. And to reach that place of peace, I'm fine. I'm always taken care of. I trust life, whatever's happening in the moment, whether this happens immediately or not.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing that wall just lowers.
Oh, I remember.
Okay, great.
Panicked action.
Oh, yes.
So
Great phrase.
So when you start to manifest, you set your intentions, you do all your stuff. Then you have a panic arise, a doubt or a fear, panic, something like that goes, oh my God, I better do this right away, because if not, that doesn't feel good, right?
Yes.
That doesn't feel good.
Yes.
Your higher self is going, no.
Yep.
No.
You're off.
You can look over there, I'm going to look this way.
Yes.
And that's why you feel bad,
that
because
disconnect.
the higher self isn't aligned with you. And so the panicked action will almost always result in either nothing or problems,
more stress you're creating.
Yeah, and also there's just stress. So instead of acting, I recommend observing the panic and just sitting in it a bit and just reminding yourself that the panic is fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real, and that you don't have to go with the fear. You can go back, turn back to the trust. It'll feel better.
Yep.
You'll feel more peaceful.
Yes.
It's a practice. It takes some time
Yes.
to learn how to do that well.
Yes.
For most people, but
the practice that I think to me is helpful is you have your vision, you have your trust, you have your faith, you know it is manifesting, and you're letting go of specific expectations or specific hows around it. So you live there. This is the state you live in. And then as any fears, doubts, anxieties arise, we do honor them.
Yes.
We allow ourselves to feel them. So we visit
yes,
with those, and then those pass through us. And so I just like to think that we're doing both orientations. I'm gonna honor what my human is feeling. It's okay to feel fear.
you can't dissolve the fear unless you sit in it and look at it.
Yes.
And even I say this all the time. And the other day I had a big fear thing come up.
Yeah.
And I was so oblivious of my own fear. That's the other thing. You can be literally oblivious to it. So don't beat yourself up about it. Just try to feel it. Try to see. Also, if you can, try to see where it came from.
Yes.
Like what happened in your life to make you feel this way.
Yes.
Because then you can look back at those stories and just apply some of your wisdom to it and realize that, oh, I was just a little confused. Somebody I really respected said this or that, and
Yeah.
I just believed them.
Yeah. So, and as you're saying, this is a necessary, helpful step to feel the fears, because that's how we'll dissolve them.
Yeah.
And then that energy will be cleared from our energetic being, and then the manifestation can flow in more easily.
And that panicked action, you can think of that as like the same way when you're triggered by someone, you know that you're looking at at your shadow. You're investigating the trigger. You're basically triggering yourself into panic.
Yep.
So you're looking at your shadow in that moment. And so you can turn away from it and go to the positive, or you can look at it further and try to dissolve it. Both are effective to find peace, but the work to dissolve it and to go through the fear is going to provide you with a space where that panic in that area is not likely to keep coming up, or if it does, it'll be a lot duller.
Yeah. So you've beautifully gone right into step 8.
Oh, I totally knew that.
Yeah, which is about following inspired action. So
Right.
You've made this great delineation between panicked action, so the action that the thinking mind thinks it needs to do is almost forcing.
Anxious action.
Yes, I
that.
better do this, I gotta do this or else. Versus, and it's very like frenetic and chaotic and stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, we all have had that experience of just feeling this guidance to take a step that just feels so right.
Yeah.
You might, I like the phrase, to get a screaming yes inside.
And if possible, act on the inspiration immediately.
Yes, before the thinking mind has time to panic.
You usually have, maybe 15 seconds to a minute of inspiration, and then the doubt comes in.
Yeah.
If you can start acting as I should have done this so many times. I'm saying this now. I am an imposter. I don't do this. And we should do this. I should do this. So
yeah.
Something I'm expanding on is when the inspiration hits, that's the moment to go.
To take the action.
So I've had lots of inspiration to write a song, to write a poem, to do these things. I'm a hobbyist musician, and I would love to write a song. And every time that I get the inspiration, I doubt. And I turn away from it, and I write it down, the idea.
Yeah.
But I've doubted it, and I've resisted it, and it's almost like the time's passed. Later, when I look at the idea, it doesn't resonate the way it did. It would have been a beautiful song.
Yes.
And I should have written it, but I didn't.
And the beautiful thing is that we can live our lives in this manner 24/7, just moving from one pinged nudge to another. And that's, I think, how we have been mostly living the daily life. I used to live completely from my thinking mind and almost forcing myself to do what my thinking mind thought I needed to do. And now I live in the present moment to moment, following the guidance for the inspired action.
Yeah, I try to do the same. It was I would say too, if you can set yourself up in a place for isolation where for a period of time as you try to shift into that modality of thought, because in a situation like yours, that's why I think it was such a struggle for you at first, was because kids running around, stuff at the house, work,
yes.
Lots of busy.
Yeah.
And I think for me, on my side, for whatever reason, it was a priority for me to do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't super conscious, but I basically left all of my responsibilities.
Yeah, for a few months.
Some of them on purpose. Some of them I was sort of thrown out of them.
Right.
Without me wanting, and that hurt too, even though I knew I didn't really want those responsibilities at the moment.
Yeah.
It still hurt to be thrown away from them. So I got fired 3 times and stuff.
Yeah. And
I didn't ask or want to be fired. I was fired 2 weeks before one of my children was born.
Yeah.
And I was the sole earner. So, I'm sure you can imagine the panic.
Stressful.
But if you're able to give yourself some space, I am recommending neglecting your children. Yeah, no. But basically, just try to find space for yourself to do that, because it's hard to integrate that while you have a lot of to-dos. Like lots of to-dos, they drain on your energy. They're attachments.
It's almost hard to hear it.
Right. Yeah.
And just from the time we entered school, we were told what to do and to override this guidance system that's always been there. So it's really just coming back to your own internal guidance system that is always giving you the next step. Sometimes we use the word breadcrumbs.
Yeah, breadcrumbs.
So sometimes, often the whole plan is not clear in the way the thinking mind is used to.
I found it's almost never totally clear.
No, it just feels like it's day to day, step by step, and it's a mystery. It's like an intriguing, adventurous mystery.
Yeah.
Okay, then number 9.
Oh, this one's good. So, I said it earlier, but all of us are magicians. We may not resonate
in every moment.
In every moment.
Yeah.
All of us are magicians in every moment, manifesting magic.
In every moment.
Always. Every single thing that comes into us was manifested by us. And everything that happens. Everything that your neighbor does that annoys you, you manifested. You were a part of that creation. So, it's once you start to realize that, you can start to look for the examples of how it's happened in your reality. And we're going to go into some of our examples just to share how we can take the really mundane, in many cases, and see the magic.
Yes.
And you can see the magic in the mundane, and then you're like, oh my God, if it's happening at this lower level, of course, what's the difference between it happening at a bigger, more profound level?
It's happening at every level.
It's the same. There is no difference between the magic that's occurring.
Yep.
And every thought, every prayer, every single thing.
I love the phrase, like every thought is a prayer.
Yeah, every thought is a prayer.
Every thought is a prayer.
Yeah. And this is why, as the vibration of the earth increases, it allows for the bodies to hold more light, which the awakening ones will start to do, generally automatically almost, hold more light, which will empower and speed up all the manifestations. This is why you'll notice your manifestations, like you'll think of a thing and the guy will call you right away, or
they're going more quickly.
Everything starts to speed up.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that is because we need to learn how to purify. And so if we get into a negative state, you'll notice that suddenly you're accosted with negative thoughts, negative impulses, negative things may start to manifest into your awareness, like people yelling at each other, or something. Or maybe like you walk by the TV and there's war on it, stuff like that. It starts to manifest externally. So you start to realize, oh my gosh, I gotta be pure in my thoughts. Otherwise, I'm gonna be living in a sort of nightmare world for me.
Totally.
And it becomes sort of obvious.
Yes.
And that's the point of this speeding up.
Yes.
Is to force you to get pure with it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing if you're impure. It's just important to know, and then work at it. So wherever you're at's perfect. I'm not pure of thought in all moments. So I'm not trying to say I am. And I don't believe humans can be. So, I mean, I would love to speak with one who is. That would be magical.
Yeah.
Totally. But or maybe I'll get there. But that's I think the important thing. We're all I call myself a wizard. We are all wizards and witches, shaman, whatever we call those mystical people.
Yep.
They are not special people. We are all that.
Yep.
The only difference is some of us are aware of it, and others have forgotten.
Yes.
So it's if it doesn't resonate, that's okay. But the entire practice of magic and manifestation is the reprogramming of the subconscious mind, which is what brings in the subconscious and conscious mind that brings in all of your desires.
Yep.
And if you can realize that you're doing it constantly all the time with every little thing that occurs, then you can really convince yourself that it's real.
Yeah.
And then it starts to show more and more and more and fast.
Yeah.
Faster and faster.
It's such good news. We're
news.
not just victims in
Yeah.
receiving life's toils. Yeah.
Right. We're not just wandering around this place and stuff's being thrown at us randomly.
Yeah. It's emanating from us.
There is no random. There is random, I should say. There is random. There's no coincidence or mistake, though. Mm-hmm. Random, there are random functionalities in the universe, typically in first and second density of like microorganisms and things that do random or instinctual things that really, they're just random.
Yeah.
They're not so programmed.
Yeah. And then the last step we had here was in terms of building your faith in the whole process of really looking at your life and looking at all the manifestations you have already brought into your actual reality. It's really fun to do that. It's really fun to even just sort of trace your feelings, thoughts about something, and then looking at what came through. And it could be something that you maybe didn't actually want, or it could be something that you wanted. We can see both of those examples throughout our lives, but really just to tune into, this is actually what is going on. And I can, and there's always a one-to-one correlation between your feelings, thoughts about something, and then what actually comes in. Mm-hmm. It's so cool.
And the more pure of thought you are with things, and the less resistance you have to yourself and to things around you, and etc., your thoughts you don't even need to try. You just are sort of like, I would like to have a coffee. And next thing you know, you're getting a coffee.
Yeah.
That's more or less what happened this morning.
Yeah.
To me. I was like, I want a coffee. I didn't even know where to go, and then anyway.
Yeah.
But Tassel doesn't drink coffee, so I don't know why. But no, I'm just kidding. But she doesn't have a coffee pot or anything. So that's something we're gonna work on, but.
We'll manifest.
But yeah. So, did you want to give one of your examples, and then?
Yeah.
You're going to give a couple examples of just how we can.
And I'm wondering, like, time-wise, because we're going to do the guided meditation. Should we give examples tomorrow, or?
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Our manifestation stories tomorrow.
Or
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We'll do
that.
that.
I'm just thinking maybe it's getting really long.
We're already over an hour, and we have a 20-minute meditation as well.
Yeah.
The stories we'll probably talk another hour.
Yeah.
So
why don't we do a whole show on that on Wednesday?
Yeah, we'll talk about
stories.
Building faith in your manifestation.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's a really
because that's what the point of this is. It's we're not trying to share our examples so you can look at me. It's so you can notice some of the mundane, the magic in the mundane.
Yes.
And then build the faith through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So we'll end with about a 20-minute guided meditation. It's called Miraculous Manifesting, and it is pretty much what we've talked about here. Mm-hmm. And it'll just really get you into a heightened state of being in your creator presence and bringing through what you really want in your life.
Is there anything they should do to prepare for the meditation before it starts? Because they could pause the video. They'll be able to start it whenever they want. So you could pause the video now. Do they need to set an intention first, or I can't remember the meditation?
That's one of the steps, is setting the intention. So
okay.
Yeah, no preparation is
okay.
necessary.
Unless you want to pick a certain one, because there's probably not a ton of time in the meditation. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you guys. You can pause it if
I think you
need
can just play it and follow along.
Okay.
It's very user friendly.
So yeah, that'll run about 20 minutes, and then we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We're also gonna, I think, release a video probably for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What one was that again?
Helping those around you awaken.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about helping awaken family members and friends and stuff like that, and what our true purpose and role is in that type of one-to-one or one-to-many type connection.
And I'll also just mention that we are going to start creating some video courses around really just different aspects of manifesting. The steps are really all the same, but one will be about manifesting your best feeling body, living in your best feeling body,
right.
Creating the body that you really want to hang out in, just as one of them.
Totally. Yeah, and we're going to be coming out with a bunch of different courses, and some of them we'll maybe talk about tomorrow because they're more relevant to some of the stories, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be coming out with one as well. I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's basically targeted to wanderers and starseeds, and essentially it's going to be in-depth magical and ascension work, more or less.
Fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It'll be good.
Sounds amazing.
It'll be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and if you like this video, if you feel like liking it, that helps our channel so much.
Yep.
And if you'd like to subscribe, that also really helps us.
If you have anyone that you think would like to see this, definitely share it. We're trying to get our work out to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So if that's resonant, and if you want to share that, we'd really appreciate it. We think this stuff will help a lot of people. So
yeah.
But we are happy with serving one. So
we let go of all expectations.
No expectations. So yeah, so that's it. I'm going to start the meditation now. Thank you for bringing up Brahman Consciousness. It was very relevant when you first brought it up. I was like, I don't know what that means or how it's relevant, but it was very relevant and useful.
Great
I think
to hear about that. Thank you. It's so great to learn.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So much love to everyone.
Take care, everybody. We will see you tomorrow on that video, and then we'll see you Wednesday live. And I think we're going to do a Thursday live instead of Friday because I'm on a flight.
Yeah. So
okay.
We'll be live Wednesday and Thursday.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
So much love to everyone. Welcome to the guided meditation, Miraculous Manifesting. Bring through what you desire. In this guided meditation, you will do some writing. Please take a moment now and grab a pen and paper. Now, please get into a comfortable position, lying down or sitting up. Gently close your eyes. Take some slow, deep breaths. Dear one, you are a very, very powerful being. You have every capacity to bring through miraculous happenings in your own life and also in the lives of others. It is your innate birthright to bring your dreams into reality. The yearnings, the longings, the dreams within your heart, you came into this incarnation with a sacred plan to bring each and every one of these into fruition, into the physical. And we shift this earth into profound positive transformation when each one of us brings through our own dreams into the physical. Now, we are all creating all of the time, every second, with our thoughts and our energy and our focus. When we stay focused on what we truly want, we become conscious creators. This miraculous manifesting guided meditation enables you to fully step into your power as a conscious creator. Anything in your highest and best is possible, achievable, and available. Dream big, dream lavishly, dream without bounds for your life and for the whole world. The world needs your dreams realized. This is precisely how we transform our beautiful earth. You are a powerful and magnificent creator being, and it's go time. This miraculous manifesting guided meditation provides powerful tools to transform any area of your life, bringing through a better relationship, more financial abundance, improved health, or anything else that is in your highest and best path. You will leave this guided meditation with a clear knowingness in your heart that your desire is manifesting. And you will also leave with a daily practice to fully bring through this heartfelt desire. Now we will journey through a 9-step metaphysical process to miraculously manifest, to bring through your heartfelt desire into your reality. Number 1, now your first step. Discover your most profound heartfelt desire. Please now envision dropping down into your heart space. You may see a color, have a feeling, or receive an image as you enter your sacred heart center. As you settle into this space, you can take a deep breath and invite your most heartfelt desire to arise. This precious heartfelt desire may be different from what your thinking mind might choose. Number 2, now your second step. Focus on the what and the why, letting go of the how. Please open up your beautiful eyes and take a few moments to write down your heartfelt desire. Now, please take a few moments to write down why this heartfelt desire is so important to you. And you can feel free here to let go of the how your heartfelt desire is going to manifest. Surrender the how to the universe. You lead the what and the why. Number 3, now your third step. Set intentions about your heartfelt desire. As you set your intentions, you create the details of your reality. Take a moment now, and in regards to your precious heartfelt desire, please write down any intentions around this desire. Number 4, now your fourth step. Transform fear and limiting beliefs around this desire. Now you can allow yourself to transform any fear or limiting beliefs around this desire. Please close your eyes and envision dropping down again into your heart mind. If there are any fears around your heartfelt desire, invite them to come up now. Let any fears arise. Allow yourself to be with them. Allow yourself to feel them. Now imagine placing any fears in a gold box and envision giving this box to Mother, Father, God to be transmuted. Now, if there are any limiting beliefs around your heartfelt desire, invite them to come up now. Let any limiting beliefs arise. Allow yourself to be with them. Allow yourself to experience them. Now imagine placing any limiting beliefs in a silver box and envision giving this box to Mother, Father, God to be transmuted. Now, what is a belief that would be an antidote to any fear and would support the manifestation of your heartfelt desire? Now, what is a belief that would be an antidote to any limiting belief and would support the manifestation of your heartfelt desire? Take a moment now and open up your beautiful eyes and write down any supportive beliefs to assist the manifestation of your heartfelt desire. Number 5. Now your 5th step. Create a new story about bringing through your heartfelt desire. Previous to right now, have you been telling yourself any story that is not fully serving you in regards to this heartfelt desire? Take a moment to think about the stories you have been telling so far about your heartfelt desire, to yourself and to others. Now, what kind of new story could you tell that would support your heartfelt desire coming through, knowing that you are the creator of your own reality? Take a few moments now and write down your story. Think of yourself as a radio tower. You are constantly sending out an energetic message into the universe, and you will receive back the same energetic frequency. When you embody a story of being able to easily manifest your heartfelt desire, this is what you will experience. Number 6. Now your 6th step. Communicate directly with Spirit to ask for assistance. Now, if resonant, speak directly with Spirit to ask for assistance in bringing through your heartfelt desire. You can speak internally or out loud. If resonant, speak to Spirit as if you are speaking to a dear friend or family member, speaking from your heart, bearing it all. Number 7. Now your 7th step. Experience a guided meditation of feeling the completion of your heartfelt desire. Now gently close your eyes. Take some slow, deep breaths and imagine in your mind's eye a single candle flame. See this flame flicker and glow. Observe the bright tip of the flame. Notice the blue base of the flame. At the very base of the flame, in your mind's eye, you see a golden shimmering door. This door leads to a mystical dimension where you can effortlessly experience the full fruition of your heartfelt desire. You open this golden door and you see yourself. You see yourself fully living in the manifestation of your heartfelt desire. You can hear yourself speaking to others about this completion of your heartfelt desire. You watch yourself living your life in the completion of your heartfelt desire. You see how you start your day. You see how you live out your day. You see exactly what you are doing. You see all of the gifts that have come in for you and your loved ones with the manifestation of this heartfelt desire. You see all the details of your life now. You see all the details of your loved ones' lives now, living with this heartfelt desire manifested. Now, fully tune into all of the feelings that you feel with the actualization of your heartfelt desire. Perhaps relief, perhaps gratitude, perhaps joy. Fully feel these feelings. Feel these feelings in every cell of your body. Feeling these feelings draws the manifestation of your heartfelt desire to you like a magnet. Number 8. Now your 8th step. Tune into your highest intelligence for guidance with inspired action steps. And now, if resonant, we are going to connect with your highest intelligence. And you can stay in the same position with your eyes closed. And you can set an intention right now to connect fully with your highest intelligence. You can say to yourself or out loud, I ask now to fully connect with my highest intelligence. To serve bringing my heartfelt desire into full fruition. To serve my highest and best life. We are now going to ask your highest intelligence about guidance for bringing your heartfelt desire into full fruition. If resonant, you can ask your highest intelligence for the next action steps that would be helpful towards the manifestation of your heartfelt desire. You may see an image, hear something, receive a sentence. You can honor whatever arises here. Now, if resonant, you can ask your highest intelligence about any particular things or people or situations in your life that you can say no to in order to have all the time and space to focus on this heartfelt desire. Now, if resonant, you can ask your highest intelligence for one phrase or affirmation or mantra that is most helpful to you in manifesting this heartfelt desire. Now, if resonant, you can ask your highest intelligence if it has any particular messages or information for you right now about anything. Lastly, if resonant, you can ask your highest intelligence anything you want to. And now take a few deep breaths and let this information integrate into your being. Number 9. Now your step 9, your final step. Set up a daily practice to fully bring through your heartfelt desire. Now you can set up a daily practice to assist your manifestation of your heartfelt desire. This can include whatever you intuitively feel would most serve you. This may be stating out loud your heartfelt desire, stating out loud why you hold this desire, stating out loud all of your intentions, stating out loud your supportive beliefs, stating out loud your story about your heartfelt desire, stating out loud your affirmation from your highest intelligence. This may also be listening to this guided meditation and visualizing your actualization of your heartfelt desire and feeling into the feelings of its completion. Take a moment now and write down what your daily practice is. As you do this daily practice every day and connect in with the energy of the completion of your heartfelt desire, you will draw to you all the perfect synchronicities of the right people, the right resources, and the right information to birth your desire. And every day, in addition to connecting in with the energy of the completion of your heartfelt desire, you can ask your highest intelligence for the next best action step to take. Now you have completed this 9-step metaphysical process to miraculously manifest your heartfelt desire. You have a clear knowingness in your heart that your desire is now manifesting. Celebrate this wonderful happening and let the energy of this miraculous manifestation flow into every cell of your being so that you are now a breathing, living, energetic embodiment of your precious heartfelt desire. If resonant, you can say out loud, I am the embodiment of my precious heartfelt desire. As I embody my heartfelt desire within, I bring it through into the physical. As within, so without. Now, when you are ready, take a few deep breaths to fully integrate this experience into your being. Aho, and so it is.